Hey y'all, I'm Pat.
And I'm Josh.
And you're watching Like a Farmer.
Mine's closer.
We've got big names, inspiring stories, all celebrating the American farmer. If you've ever faced adversity and you like having food on the table, you gotta be like a farmer. Hey y'all, Pat with Like a Farmer. Welcome to episode 1. As y'all know, when we first started this, there was 2 objectives I wanted. Celebrate the American farmer and educate the American people. One of the first phone calls I made was to my friend, Mr. Josh Allen, who I have here today. And as y'all know him as the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, and y'all like watching him on Sunday, and he's a pretty damn good player. But what you might not know are some of the topics we're going to talk about today, where he came from, some of his life lessons from his success today, and a lot more. So stay tuned. Josh, thanks for coming on today, man.
Pat,
I'm pumped.
Thank you for having me on. This is exciting for me.
The last 2 days I've been in Buffalo, New York, and holy moly, you talk about a community that is passionate, hardworking, grit. They love their Buffalo Bills. They love their chicken wings, and boy, do they love Josh Allen. So just give me a rundown of like Buffalo to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's home now. Like, obviously, I built a house here, and I plan on being here for quite some time. But, I think you said one word, and it was grit. And I think Buffalo really embodies that word. Every year, doesn't matter how great or how bad this team was the previous year, this year's our year. And
Absolutely.
It's the same, optimism that they share. And it's a community that loves football almost as much as I love football. So to be able to be here and play for a franchise that's got so much history behind it, and some of the players, Hall of Fame players, you talk about Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, Bruce. Steve Tasker should be in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the greatest special team players of all time. Should be in the Hall of Fame. But, when you throw that in there, along with, the passion that this fan base has, and the love that they share with our players, and obviously going out to eat dinner, it's crazy. It's pandemonium, and people they love the Bills here. They love the Sabres. And the Bandits. We got the Bandits, Buffalo Bandits, pro lacrosse.
Yeah.
That's actually playing pretty well right now, and those games are so exciting. So
there you go.
It's a fun spot to be. It's not the glitz and the glamour of an LA or a Miami, but it's good people, it's good food, and those are 2 of my top priorities.
This city loves Josh Allen. I mean, just to hit on the Patricia Allen Foundation right now, I mean, it seems like since day one, this community has supported you.
It just kind of happened. So obviously my grandmother passed away right before we played the Seattle Seahawks, and didn't tell anybody. I just kind of went along my business and played in that game, played really well. We ended up winning the game, and someone from Bills Mafia found out and just kind of tweeted something. It was like, let's donate $17 to honor his grandmother. And for people to do that, I didn't ask anybody to do that. I didn't want anybody to do that. But for, this community to try to turn something into a, dark place for me and my family, into such a positive and now special place in my heart, that is the Patricia Allen Fund. And to date, that fund has now raised, I think, over $3.5–4 million. And they got a wing after my grandmother, and she's memorialized there forever. And I'm forever indebted to this community and the Oshai Children's Hospital because of that reason. So it's something now I look forward to each and every year, finding new ways to raise money and give people different experiences. And going, again, I love going to the hospital and just walking into a room. It's sometimes it's really tough. Sometimes it's really difficult to see these kids that are so new in life, and they're just having a bad hand dealt to them early on. And, but as soon as you walk into the room, it's like all that's gone. They got the biggest smile on their face. The Patricia Allen Fund helps those families. It helps those kids. Money for, surgeries and travel, food, you name it. So it's a pretty special fund, and it'll forever be in my heart.
Shout out Bills Mafia.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, holy moly, Bills Mafia, tell me about, these people are jumping through tables. They're showing up way too early, probably on Sundays and maybe even Saturday night. Number one, I want to know where the table jumping even came from. Do you know?
I have no idea. for legal reasons, I'm obligated to say I don't condone table jumping.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Those videos are special, and there's been a lot of ones like you see them on Twitter and YouTube, and there's some major fails where some people sometimes miss the table. So again, I don't condone that. Bills Mafia.
Stay safe, Bills Mafia. We need you in the stadium on Sundays.
But I will say, as players, we do see those videos, and it's just like, holy cow, like they're crazy. But it's such like this energy that you can feel it. You know, you walk into or you drive to the stadium, and it's bumper to bumper traffic. You got people on the side walking, barbecuing, cornhole, and it's 25 degrees outside.
Yeah,
you know, so like. The fans here are unbelievable. I don't want to play for anybody else in my career, and I want to make sure that I bring a Super Bowl to this fan base because they deserve it. They've been through a lot. And
boom, you're getting me pumped up, man. You heard it here first.
It's
bringing
honestly,
a championship to Buffalo.
It's my number one goal in life is to bring a Super Bowl here.
I've known you for a while now, and I know one of your number one goals in life was also to be on the Madden cover. So not too long ago, it got announced that you were on the Madden cover. I mean, how does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, crazy to sum it up in one word. Something as a kid, again, I learned how to play football from Madden. I learned all the rules, concepts, and it really drove who I was. Like, you know, me and my brother, we would, as soon as we got out of the car, we're racing to our room to see who gets the first controller, because first controller
Who would win? Who would win?
It was me. You know, I'd kick my brother's butt in Madden. He'd always beat me up afterwards.
Yeah. Were you fast, or I heard maybe you had a nickname?
High school.
Okay.
I was not that fast.
Okay.
So my nickname was Tortuga, which is tortoise in Spanish.
Okay.
I've gotten faster since then. At least I think I have.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just, you know, worrying about the 300-pound guys trying to tackle me from behind. So I got to outskirt them just a little bit. But yeah, the Madden cover, it's a dream come true. I've seen the photos, and they're awesome. It's a small group of people that have been able to be on the cover, so I do take it with a lot of pride. And it's something, again, as a kid, I played this game, and now I'm on that cover. And you know, the game I always remember is Madden 03. It's Marshall Faulk for the St. Louis Rams.
Yep.
And I mean, I play that every day, and like I'll never forget that cover. So like maybe I get to be that cover for some kids. So
absolutely, and that's cool. The goal. Every goal has adversity you have to face prior to getting to that goal. High school, you're playing football. You get out of high school, and you have 0 offers to go play college football. Correct?
Correct.
And how does that feel? Like, does it like, okay, I need to go work on the family farm. I need to go do something else. I need to go...
Yeah,
anything.
A lot of emotion.
Yeah.
More so like, man, I know what I'm capable of. Why doesn't anybody else see that? Why is there not a coach that's willing to come out here and say, you know, we want you to play for our team? And I was like, I took it as a kind of a slap in the face, and I was just like, I'll figure it out. Like I'm gonna figure it out. And like my family was like, people tell me to walk on to Fresno State, or I had a preferred walk on, I think, at San Diego State. I was like, I'm not going to put my family in a financial burden to let me go play football. Like, I'll figure it out. I'll go to junior college.
Yep, which you did.
Which I did.
And you went to
Reedley Junior College, which is about 35, 40 minutes south of Fresno. And met some of the most amazing guys there. I still keep in touch with a few of them. The range of guys that are in junior college is such a wide margin. But I always knew, like as long as I can get on the field and showcase my talent, like talent's going to be found regardless of where you're at. And I wouldn't say Reedley at the time was a very prominent junior college. So not too many college scouts coming in and throwing offers around. And didn't start for the first 3 or 4 games there either.
At the junior college?
At the junior college, yeah. So again, after games, like sitting there like talking to my parents, like I don't understand. Like I'm working my tail off. I'm doing everything right. Like, yeah. So it was some tough nights, some tough talks with myself. And again, I just had this self-motivation and this self-belief in myself that I was still gonna figure it out.
You're gonna figure it out.
As soon as I got on the field too, played really well. Was expecting more offers, to be honest. I had one from Eastern Michigan and one from Wyoming. But
Eastern Michigan pools.
because I didn't go visit them because I was trying to transfer out mid-year, and there's this there was this rule. I don't know if it's the same rule. The college rules are ridiculous now. It's kind of crazy. But there was this rule where you only had a 2-week period where you can go on school visits. And Wyoming was flying me out, and Eastern Michigan was like, well, we need to fly you out. We can't offer you if we don't fly you out. And it's like, well, I can't. Like, I'm going to Wyoming already. Like, they've already set the flights. Like, they're like, well, we're going to have to pull your offer. And I was like, okay, I guess Wyoming it is. So.
And you mentioned about college rules being ridiculous. I mean, think about it now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
now it's unlimited. Like, I feel like you can visit unlimited times.
Yep.
I will go back to that story real quick because Eastern Michigan ended up beating me twice and breaking my collarbone the first time we played, which they had my number. They had my number. But that is what it is.
Yeah. So you go to Wyoming and you play for a year, and now after your junior year of your first year at Wyoming, you're projected to go top 5, right?
Yeah. Well, so first start in Wyoming was again against Eastern Michigan.
Yep.
Break my collarbone, I'm out for the year. So that next year is when I had my first full year of starting.
Yep.
And then I woke up like January 1st. I think it was literally New Year's. And a guy by the name of Matt Miller, he was doing all these mock drafts, had me going 2 or 3 overall. And all of a sudden, like, my phone's blown up. Agents are hitting me up like, hey, we need to set a meeting, this and that. And it happened like it was just a whirlwind. And it's like, don't know what to do. Like, again, Coach Bowl and the offensive staff and Brent Vegan, who's now the head coach at Montana State, were like the only guys that believed in me. And I was like, I feel like I owe it to them. My last pass that year, too, against Boise State in the Poinsettia Bowl was an interception. So I was like, it left a bad taste in my mouth. I was like, I can't just leave after throwing an interception. Yeah. And I actually went to dinner with my family, and we toasted. I was like, I'm declaring for the draft. Like, I'm going to do it. And I got back to the house, and I'm tossing and turning. I didn't sleep maybe 5 minutes that night, just sick to my stomach. Get out of bed in the morning, and Coach Bowl calls me, and I'm looking at my phone, and I can't answer it. I can't tell him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm leaving. So.
And why can't you, though? I mean, is there a reason why? I mean, you seem to be so loyal to this coach. Like, why is that?
Yeah, again, it was the loyalty factor was one. 2, the taste in my mouth of throwing the interception and ending on a loss. Like, I always want to leave a place better than when I got there, right? So him and his staff offering me and putting their trust and their faith in me, and we had such a good year that year. We went to the Mountain West Championship game. We ended up losing to San Diego State. Again, went to the Poinsettia Bowl, which is a pretty good bowl game. Lost that. And I was like, I just can't go yet. Like, there's still more to be done. And I learned a lot from going back that year, and wasn't the most perfect year by any means. There were some ups and downs, but I learned so much, and again, learned more about myself, and still hit adversity. And I think adversity in football it's inevitable, and the more that you can experience early on in your career. And there's some guys, again, that they go to these big prominent schools, and they go out there and they win all these games and throw all these touchdowns and never get really punched in the mouth on the football field. And when they get to the league, it's like everybody's going to get punched in the mouth.
Yep.
And if you're not ready for it, it can absolutely tear you down. So it was those experiences that I think, again, continued to help me and drive me and push me forward to the quarterback that I want to be.
Adversity, right? Yep. I mean, a goal of yours was also play in the NFL. Adversity. 0 offers out of high school, 1 after junior college. You wanted to make sure you were being loyal to your team at Wyoming, so you stay, and then boom, now you're going into the draft. Mm-hmm. Talk about that draft night.
Yeah, I get we're sitting in the green room, not really sure what the draft order is going to be. Baker Mayfield wasn't there; he was at home, and Sam was sitting right next to Sam Darnold. I believe Josh Rosen was there, Lamar was there as well, and first, you're on the clock, 10 minutes. The Cleveland Browns have 10 minutes, and like we're sitting there like waiting for a phone call, and no phone call comes, and we're like, the pick is in. It's like, all right, it's got to be Baker. Baker goes, and then second went Saquon.
Yep.
To the Giants. Third, Sam gets the phone call to the Jets.
Yes.
So I'm just like sitting here and call after call after call.
Which are 2 New York teams, right?
Yes.
I mean, Jets and Giants, and it's like, okay, where am I going to go? I mean, you're at the point like, okay, I got to go somewhere, right? I mean, my name's got to be called at some point.
Yeah. And again, it didn't have to wait super long.
Yeah.
But then again, the Buccaneers were on the clock. Buffalo Bills trade up. And I had a good talk with them that day. So I was pretty confident, like, if they traded up, it was going to be me. And obviously get the call and, walk up, get the hat from the CEO of New Era, who's a friend of mine. I'm now a New Era athlete too. So
shout out New Era.
Put it on and walk across the stage and give Roger a big old hug and get to celebrate with some of the fans down there. And as soon as you get drafted, it is a whirlwind. Like, you get pulled up straight to media row. It is like 15 interviews in a row. You got to do some stuff for Madden. You got to do some stuff for Panini. Like, it's nonstop. And it's like that you don't really get a chance to breathe. Yep. And after about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I meet my family and my friends, and everybody's sitting there waiting at a little bar at a hotel, and everybody's doing the Bills chant, It was really cool. After that, still, just having a good time. I'm really good buddies with Sam Darnold and Kyle Allen.
Yeah, we were all together in Augusta
that's
not
right.
too long
and
ago.
Kyle Allen was there, and we were all training together for the draft. So we went to one of our suites. I think it was my room, and ordered 100 beers up to the room, and we had friends in there and just drank beers all night and just had a good time. And it was a really cool, intimate setting.
Yeah, that
we weren't around everybody. We weren't around fans. We weren't at a bar. It's I didn't want that, but it was just it was a really cool feeling. We just accomplished our dreams of getting drafted to the NFL and got to share that with a very select group of people that we felt helped us in this journey.
Absolutely.
And it was a really, really special moment, and I'll never forget that.
You talk about family a lot. Fireball, California. What do you think built you to get to that point when it comes to growing up on a family farm? Myself as a 6th-generation citrus and cattle farmer out of Florida as well, and I understand, the hard lessons that I had to learn growing up on the farm to make me where I'm at today. Go into that a little bit.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different parts, and the main thing again is the family. We didn't grow up in where we can just hop on our bikes and go to a buddy's house. Me and my siblings, we had to figure out how to have fun on the farm, whether it was outside playing wiffle ball or balloon fights or picnics with mom or you name it. My mom was so involved with us as kids, and my dad was obviously working quite a bit, and but even then he was the president of the swim team and the Cal Ripken baseball for our hometown, and drove us to practices and did everything in their powers.
Now, hold on. What was he doing when he was driving you to practices? Because I heard there was maybe some.
He would sit there and he'd
test interviews.
Yeah, he'd interview. So, Josh, you threw the game-winning touchdown. How do you feel? I'm done. Who do you have to thank? I want to thank my family and my O-line and this and that. So, he was prepping me. He knew what he was doing when he was raising me as a kid. He wanted me to play in the NFL almost as badly as I wanted to play in the NFL. And
he's Joel. Shout out to Joel, number one. Number one, he can sing the national anthem.
Yes, he can.
No one before. So if anybody needs a singer for the national anthem, please call Joel Allen. But he's also got a mind full of just awesome quotes too.
Yeah.
Which ones resonated with you the most?
Bloom Where You're Planted is big in my life.
Bloom Where You're Planted, yep.
Because again, in high school, I had the chance to kind of maybe transfer to a different high school, a bigger school, get some more eyes on me. Decided not to. I didn't want to do that route. I wanted to be with my family in Fireball. My grandfather donated land for our high school, and I felt like it was important for me to be there. I did not know that.
Cool.
Yep. So that was.
And that was your grandpa was a farmer as well.
Yep.
What generation farmer are you?
4.
Gotcha.
Yep. And the gym at our high school is the A.E. Buzz Allen Gym, so it's after my grandfather, and so it was a pretty special way that I got to grow up. And again, my brother's my best friend, my dad's my biggest role model, my mom's my number one supporter, and my 2 sisters are right behind her. And it's really cool to have that support system, and I know a lot of people don't have that. But again, we did everything together. We competed so much. It was so much competition in our household between my brother. I kid you not, we would run to get the first controller, and if I didn't get there, like we're fighting. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone like shirts
We're
are coming
throwing hands,
off.
yeah.
Someone's gonna
Put
end
the
up
gloves
crying.
on.
My brother was always stronger than me as a young age. I think I got him now, but he's still a big boy.
He was looking kind
He's
of
still a big
swole
boy.
the
He's
other day,
swole.
man.
He's a crazy freaky athlete too, where he can like one leg squat, touch his butt on the ground, stand right back up.
I thought I was the only
athlete.
one that knew how to do that.
He's a ridiculous athlete. He really is. He's impressive. He's an impressive human being.
You grew up on a farm, Josh, and so did I. And this is why we're starting Like a Farmer. At the end of the day, and like I mentioned earlier, Josh was the first phone call that I made to say, hey, Josh, we have got to, number one, celebrate the American farmer, celebrate the people that make our food, make our clothes, make our alcohol, really make the world turn, and we have to educate the American people. And Josh was the first one to pick up the phone, and you were like, you're all in. You're like, Pat, absolutely, let's do this. We started Like a Farmer, which I love the hat that you have on right now, and you were like, I believe in this, and I think that this can be a movement, a voice, a platform, whatever you want to call it, to get one common thing that everybody can get in front of, right? I mean, people
Absolutely.
argue about football teams and songs and are you driving a Ford or a Chevy, but nobody can argue about where their food comes from and who the farmer is. And you were like, dude, I'm all in. Like, tell me why.
The way I grew up, like, where I'm from is so agriculture based. Obviously, it's what my family does. It's how my family's made a living for quite some time. There's been a lot of hardships throughout the years, especially in California.
Yep.
When you talk about the whole water situation,
Absolutely.
And this year, thank God, we've got quite a bit of water, and it's been raining quite a bit. And there's a point my dad called me. He's like, Josh, we're gonna need it to stop raining. I was like, you can't pray for rain and then ask for it to stop, So we'll take all the rain we can get. But people like eating, people like clothes, people like
100%.
really everything that you can put on you or eat and drink, and like I don't think people understand the magnitude of, especially our area in California, the types of commodities that we produce and the amount of commodities that we produce.
Yeah. And what is Allen Farms growing?
So we do cotton, cantaloupe, and wheat, and now we're transitioning into pistachios.
Pistachios, yeah.
Yes, which pistachios are great. I'm all in on pistachios. I love them. They're nutritious. I think it's kind of moving into that superfood kind of tier. I think people are starting to realize that.
Do y'all have a name? Do y'all have anything yet, or is this all in the beginning?
It's kind of in the beginning. Allen Family Farms is our operation name. We are planning to have, when it's all said and done, and again, pistachios take quite some time to actually produce the actual pistachio. So it takes about 4.5, 5 years. So every time you plant pistachios, you're taking away that land for being used for cotton, cantaloupe, and wheat throughout the seasons. So you got to be kind of smart and strategic. My dad's been fantastic, and he's been leaning on a few different people that have been helping us out. But end goal is about 1,500 acres of pistachios, and we're still in the process because we have time of figuring out, which processor to go through.
Yeah. You have like a name, like what the brand is? Maybe
Not yet.
J17
It's in the works. As a family, we're going to sit down and talk about that and see how we want to brand it. If we want to brand it, if we just want to, sell it off to a big conglomerate guy or company. And there's a few in our areas that just kind of do it all. But I think it would be kind of cool to have your own little brand of something and of your family, and be able to sell it here in Buffalo, and let Bill's Mafia enjoy pistachios here. So it's all in the works. It's all up in the air. We got some time, and I'm sure we'll figure that out pretty soon. I think there's been so many families in our area that have relied heavily on farming, and there's been years where it's been good. There's been years when it's been bad, and you talk about the adversity piece and being able to see my dad handle those situations where there's no script for it. There's no handbook for it. You kind of figure it out as you go, and it's kind of molded me into who I am. Like on the field, like sometimes things break down and you got to figure it out, right? Like there's no thinking involved. You got to make a split-second decision. You got to go with your gut, and then sometimes you just got to hope that it, pans out for the best.
And what you just said is all, I mean, that's a daily conversation and mindset that goes through the American farmer. I've got to go with my gut. I need to, if something goes wrong, I have to still figure out a way, which, holy moly, equipment failure.
And you can't wait on that stuff either.
No, no.
You can't just
you
let
gotta
it sit there
find
and
somebody
simmer.
to come and, number one, help you work on the farm. Oh, and then, by the way, here comes a natural disaster to come to mess it all up. So, that's
And
a
it
great
takes a
point.
team. It takes a team. It really does. Everybody's got to be on the same page and communication aspect of it. But the way that my dad has handled our farm, it's been impressive to see.
Yeah.
And he's such a selfless guy. He's my number one role model. Like, I've learned everything, all my movie quotes and life quotes about that are from him. And
What's your favorite movie?
that's a loaded question. I'm a huge movie guy. So there.
What are you? You're more like a rom-com. I feel like you're rom.
No, straight chick flick.
Yeah,
really.
I can see that.
I'm an action thriller guy, but comedy's huge on my list. I've been really into the Guy Ritchie films lately.
Okay.
The Gentleman's great. I actually just watched Snatch. Man from U.N.C.L.E. I thought was hilarious. Operation Fortune just came out. It was really good. I can go on and on, but I think like the action thrillers up there, the whole James Bond series, 007 is high on my list. Comedy-wise, Step Brothers is a classic. The Interview,
Absolutely,
This
man.
Is the End. I can go basically the whole list, whatever Will Ferrell's in.
Yeah.
Minus a couple ones that weren't super great.
Yeah.
But I'd still watch them.
Absolutely. So it seems like you still relate to the farmer. Like, I feel like you, on a daily basis, you understand where you came from and you respect where you came from. Like, what's one or two things that you just keep on the back of your mind from where you grew up and how you grew up to help you succeed today? You just secured, but you secured the bag a couple years ago. Congrats on that.
Appreciate you.
Pound that.
Thank you.
That's awesome. But like, what are one or two things that like you learned that help you do that?
I'll tell you right now, the stuff that I'm doing is hard. The working out, the keeping your body in shape, the putting yourself through physical harm sometimes. It's not harder than moving an irrigation pipe in 115 degrees.
Boom.
It's not. So
there you go, right
I keep
there.
that in the back of my mind. Like I could be doing that right now, and that's kind of what I did growing up. And there's weed and cotton fields, driving a disc, you name it. Me and my brother were doing it, and it could be harder. So that's why I keep that. And my dad, like growing up, he was just like, idle hands make for the devil's work. He said that too.
Joel's quote.
So he said, if you're not playing sports, you're working on the farm. So me and my brother, we played every sport known to man. We did gymnastics, karate, basketball, baseball, football, soccer. I said gymnastics. We swam.
Hold on. Let's go back there. Hold on. Rewind. Gymnastics, man. Yeah. Hit on that.
So me and my brother would go with my mom to gymnastics class for my sister. And me and my brother were pretty rambunctious kids. We fought a lot. We were running up and down the walls. And my mom was like, if you guys are here with me, you guys are on the mat with the gymnastics. And we went out there and,
just got after it.
Doing back handsprings and stuff. And my sister's pissed off because she still couldn't do one. She'd been doing doing karate or gymnastics for a year. And we go out there like our first 2 days and start doing flips and stuff like that. And
did you ever think like, hey, I'm going to be a gymnast?
Absolutely not. No.
Oh, okay.
That was just to burn some energy.
Okay.
That's all it was. So,
karate, you did all that stuff.
Swimming, which I think I think that should be a life skill that's a
100%.
legit life requirement for kids growing up. I still swim to this day. Like, it is such a good workout. Shoulder, then obviously no weight resistance, but it's like your water resistance, which is great for the body. And I think it's such a great recovery tool that not many people utilize the way they should. And I love swimming.
I love that. Growing up on the farm, I always enjoyed talking about farm stories when I know people grew up on a farm. What are like one or two just great farm stories?
Me and my brother and Marcus Espinoza, one of my buddies, we were weeding cotton fields, and we were going line by line, row by row, and it was just taking forever. So I was like, all right, guys, we're just going to spread it out and maybe keep up 4 or 5 rows in between us. And my dad comes back and is like, what do you mean? You guys are done? We're like, yeah. He's like, you missed so many weeds. And we were just walking by, like not seeing it, just trying to cheat the system. And that's another life that you can't cheat it. You gotta do your due diligence and take your time with it. But I mean, during those days too, it was picking up some dirt clouds and just tossing at each other and hitting each other in the back of the head.
Can't beat it. If you had to say one thing to the farming community, rural America, like what would you say to them?
One, I know it's kind of a thankless job, I think, being a farmer. Sometimes you don't get the credit you deserve and the respect that you deserve. And you throw in the whole, we don't have to go down that road, but there's a whole nother piece to it too, where it's just like, man, I'm just trying to support my family.
Yeah.
It's to grow this corn or cotton or wheat or whatever you're growing, support my family and provide food and clothes to people. And you just got to keep on trucking on, and that's really all there is.
Keep it going.
Keep it going.
So we're talking about adversity, and we're talking about the unknown. I want to hit on something that happened last football season, and I remember I was watching this football game, and I saw your face, and it was just like it looked empty. And the reason why I want to hit on this, because he just announced that he's coming back to play football, and that's Damar. And you talk about like hard work and adversity and like the unknown that might happen, but if you really want something, you're going to work your ass off to get back to where that is. I mean, how about that, huh? I mean, that right there is...
Yeah, talk about one of the hardest days in my life. Seeing your brother that you have bled, sweat, and cried with and cried over. You know, that night was something I'll never forget. The things that we saw, the things that we heard as a team was unprecedented. Like it really never happened before. And for it to be on such a grand scale, Monday night, where both teams coming in, it's the most combined wins, I think, in Monday night history. It was the most combined touchdowns from the quarterbacks in Monday night. Like, there were so many things.
You talk about the epic battle, you and Joey B. I mean, it was...
Yeah, and, like, you talk about it being in such a prime spotlight position.
Everybody was watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody was watching, and it kind of stopped the world, for the night. I know everybody was just scrolling their Twitter feed like, please give me an update. I can't sleep without getting an update. And we were the same way. But every day that we got back in the facility, we kept getting better and better news, which carried us and helped us out, but really took an emotional toll on us throughout the season. But then for him the first thing he said was like, I'm playing again. Like, don't worry about me. Y'all boys get out there. I'll figure my piece out, and I'll be out there with y'all again. So for him to get cleared and continue to keep working on getting better and making sure that his health was number one priority, it's been special to see. It's a special kid, and for him now to have that, he's got another purpose in life, and it's really cool. Like, when you talk to him, it's like all about giving back. It's all about figuring out ways to help youth sports, whether it's getting AEDs in these complexes where these kids are playing, whether it's CPR training. And our training staff did such an amazing job that night, and our doctors and
now, what was the guy's name that did the CPR?
Denny.
Denny. Yeah. Shout out Denny.
Shout out Denny.
Holy moly.
Shout out Nate. Shout out to Bonnie. Shout out Corey for getting the helmet off. Like, there were so many things that had to happen in a split second. Yeah. And they did it. They saved his life, and he fought like the fighter he is, and we'll see him back on the field soon.
Yeah, with the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Rapid question. Favorite music artist right now?
Zach Bryan.
Yeah. I like that. He's just, you sing. I feel like you're a guy
I don't have my dad's pipes. I'll tell you that.
Joel can sing the national anthem like no other.
Car rides and shower, I'll belt it out. But other than that, I keep it to myself.
You're also, I heard you like Jay Beebs.
I am a big Beebs fan.
What's your favorite song with him?
Confident.
Ooh.
That's a good song.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like Justin as well. I mean, Big Beebs, I love him. You've got the Florida boy had to come up here to Buffalo to get this interview done, which I'm excited to be in the great city of Buffalo, and it's been fantastic.
Came in on a great day, too.
The weather's beautiful. I don't know if I can eat another wing. I've had hundreds of wings. Favorite wing?
Barbell Tavern.
Barbell. We went there today. Yep.
Mulberry's has a great wing. Lenova's got a good sauce. You said Gabriel's Gate was pretty damn
Gabe's
pretty
Gate
damn good.
was so good, yeah.
I have yet to be there. I haven't been to 911 Tavern. I haven't been to Elmo's. But other than that, I've pretty much had all the wings you can think of around this area. And Bar-Bill is just by far. I grew up just loving buffalo wings too. Like,
yeah,
you know, as a kid, everywhere we went, if they had buffalo wings, I was ordering buffalo wings.
yeah.
Like,
You look like you could take some down.
I can take them down, and I like this. Like the spicier, the hotter, the better for me. When I'm sitting there, I want to be sweating a little bit, and I want to be able to like.
Dude, so I brought some wings over to you from Bar-Bill today. And the guy came out and he's like, "Hey man, you ordered hot wings and we just want to make sure you're good with hot." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I'm taking them to go anyways. They're like, "Well, here you go. Try this hot sauce just to make sure you want them." I tried that hot. Mm-hmm. It is hot.
The hot is hot.
Dude, holy moly.
They still have some other, like they got extra hot, and I think they got one that's called Suicidal.
Suicide,
yeah. Which we've gone there before, and we've played Suicidal Roulette, where one wing is the suicidal sauce and everything else is hot.
Yeah.
So one guy we're sitting down, one guy picks up that wing, doesn't know, and
I love that.
It can destroy somebody. So I took Mitch Morris, my center there, I think his first week here during OTAs 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago now, and he's not a spicy guy. He tried it, and he's like full on sweat, like can't focus, like standing up pacing.
Yeah.
To this day, he won't let me live it down. Like, I can't believe you tried to do that to me. And I was like, it was just a regular hot. Yeah. Like, it wasn't that
just
bad.
A hot wing.
Like, I'm sitting there eating them, and he tried it, and I was like, you didn't have to try it, but it tore him apart.
Yeah.
It was funny to see.
That's awesome. So, like, what is something that people might not know about Josh Allen?
My biggest thing is, like, I'm a freaking kid. I love having fun, whether it's on the football field, at the house here, wherever it is. Like, I'm constantly making jokes, and I can find light in any situation, which I think is a blessing and a curse.
Yep.
But I mean, I just have fun.
Which is, I mean, finding light in any situation. I mean, right there's another trait that you learned from the family farm. I mean, it's like, holy moly, these guys, when they're working, it's like they can always find the light in that situation because they have to.
They have to.
Number one.
There's so many things in farming that are outside of your control, and the number one thing is weather. Like, that is, you can't control Mother Nature.
Straight facts from Josh Allen. I mean, this dude gets it.
So you're sitting there.
Do you consider yourself a farmer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally would too.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
I think it's part of my story, and again, moving forward, like, it's going to continue to be a part of my story with me and my dad, and halfway in with my pops there, which I'm super stoked about with the Pistachios coming up. Which that to me was one of the most satisfactory moments of my life, was to be able to do that with my dad and my family. And
just to hit on that, I mean, you're just for everybody to know, like, Josh is a part of the family operation still. Like, he's one of the owners. Like, it's not like Josh just comes to the NFL, plays football, and he's like, "Hey guys, thanks for raising me." It's like, no, I'm playing football, but I'm also actively involved in the family farm operation. I want to make that clear. Like, Josh Allen, yes, you watch him. I'm looking at y'all right now who's looking at me. Y'all watch him on Sundays in the fall, but he's also a farmer, and he's very vocal about that. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. And again, I think you talk about educational, like wanting to educate people on farming and the process that farmers have to go through, and the ups and downs and the adversity that hits. And it's no different than other jobs in life. And at the end of the day, we're just trying to provide for our families too.
Absolutely. So that's, if you didn't know Josh Allen, now you do. There's one thing that I found out about you.
What is that?
That I wanted to maybe bring up a little bit, and I brought a little something. So I heard that you claim to be a magician.
I don't claim to be a magician. I know 3 card tricks that are okay.
And I would like, if you don't mind, to show a card trick with Ag America cards. Thank you, Ag America, presenting sponsor of Like a Farmer. Shout out to everybody at Ag America.
All right. Can I move this?
Yeah, you can.
All right. You sure?
Yep.
All right. I don't know which one to show you. I'll figure it out.
This is great. Josh Allen, the magician.
Where's the other Joker at?
Where did you learn this from? Just out of curiosity.
So when I broke my collarbone in college, I just kind of sat there and learned to pickpocket people and do card tricks, believe it or not. So I walk around our locker room and I will go up to people and walk away and like, hey, can you tell me the time? And they look down and their watch is on my wrist.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Dead serious. I love it.
Wow.
Let's bring in this chair or whatever this is. All right. I want you to move this top card here. Half of this deck here. Just a good chunk of it.
Right here?
Yeah, is that good half? A little more. There we there we go. Love that. Okay.
Boom.
Top card here. Top card here. Top card here. Half this deck here. Top card here. Top card here. Top card here.
Okay.
All right, now flip over the top 4.
Flip over the top?
Just the top cards
On each one?
on each one.
Josh Allen, the magician. There's no way these next two are not going to be aces. I know that.
You think so?
This dude really thinks he's a. Boom! Are you kidding me?
I wish I was.
Wow. Good for you, Josh. Holy moly. How did you where did you learn all this stuff?
Just, I can't tell you.
That's unbelievable. Good for you, man.
That's a good trick. That gets a lot of people.
That's awesome. So that is one thing nobody knew. I mean, Josh Allen, yes, is a magician. So there you have it. Round of applause. Love that. So, Josh, one of the segments on the show is called The Biggest Gamble. Farmers take a gamble every single day.
Yep.
What do I need to plant? When do I need to plant?
How much do I need to plant?
How much do I need to plant? On and on and on. What's the biggest gamble you took in your life?
Probably taking the offer from Wyoming.
Why do you say that?
One, it was the only offer. I could have waited another year at junior college.
Yep.
Obviously, Wyoming's not the most prominent Division I school in the country.
Yeah. What did you do in Wyoming? What was fun to do in Wyoming? Just out of curiosity.
We played football and drank a lot of beer.
There you go.
Of legal age.
Yeah.
Of course.
Obviously.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah. What else do you need?
Yeah, football.
We did hang out a lot as a team. Like we did Applebee's after 9, half price apps. All the time.
I love that.
I was 3 minutes away from an Applebee's. Like it was literally right down the hill across the street from my apartment complex.
Applebee's after 9.
So we would, and this was like OG Fortnite, right when it came out.
Yeah.
We had a squad of guys that would play, and as soon as 9 o'clock hit, it was like, all right, boys, see you at Applebee's, and 15 to 20 guys at Applebee's hanging out, just
love that.
Ordering wings and crispy chicken wonton tacos and the chicken quesadillas. I can name it all. You know, I love Applebee's.
There you go. So that makes sense. I mean, the biggest gamble's going to Wyoming.
Yeah.
I love that. And congrats to you, man. You've been hell, dude. You were a farm kid that took the spotlight, and now you're one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. And I was a farm kid, and I'm trying to do what I'm doing, and we learn a lot of lessons on the farm, and we take that into life to do whatever we need to do. And I appreciate you more than you could ever imagine, and I wish you luck this season. And I know for a fact we are gonna win a championship for the Bills.
That's right.
And I say that because I'm gonna make a bet right here on the camera. If the Buffalo Bills...
Is this your biggest gamble?
No, this is going to be my biggest gamble, yeah. If the Buffalo Bills win the Super Bowl this year, next year this time we're going to do another episode, and I'm going to have a Buffalo Bills tattoo if y'all win the Super Bowl. That's a bet.
All right. I'll probably have one too then. Not matching.
Well,
we could match.
Let's do. What would you get if you had to get a Bills tattoo?
I'd get the probably Lombardi with the Bills logo inside of it.
Damn it. All right, we're going to do matching tattoos. It doesn't have to
All
be
right.
at the same spot, but whatever you get, I'll do the tattoo.
All right. Perfect.
Deal.
Love it. Deal.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you. Can't wait to watch Like a Farmer podcast grow and have some. I know there's some cool guests lined up and slotted for this too, so it'll be fun to watch.
You're going all in on Like a Farmer. We have a merch line
That's right.
coming out, and super pumped about that. How do you feel about that?
I'm super pumped too. It's like the first time I got to really have input on merchandise and shirts and hats and stuff like that. So, and it's really cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in, and as always, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, go to our website, do whatever you need to do to be attached with Like a Farmer.